with the statement of open meeting and public participation. In accordance with the state sunshine law, adequate notice of this meeting was provided by mailing notice of meeting on January 6, 2021 and July 7, 2021. Notice was provided to Board of Education members, Montgomery Township Clerk, Rocky Hill Borough Clerk, Public Library, Township Posting, School Posting, PTSA officers, Courier News, Montgomery News, Princeton Packet, Trenton Times, and the Star Ledger. The board reserves the right to enter into executive session during all meetings of the Board of Education. And we will, first I will apologize for our lateness, and thank you for your patience, and we will start again with another roll call.
Ms. Franco Herman? Here. Ms. Harris? Here. Mr. Morak? Mr. Speck?
Here.
Ms. Spence Wallace? Present. Mr. Tamori? Mr. Todd?
Here.
Dr. Yver? Ms. Bursch?
Present. We will now salute the flag. Alicia's been the one doing this.
Go ahead, Phyllis, you're closer.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we will begin with the superintendent's report and presentation.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope you're all enjoying your summer. The CDC has recently released guidance for schools regarding the reopening for September 2021. We will be consulting, as we have been, with our local health department and our school physician as we plan district-wide and school-specific protocols for the start of the year. There are changes to quarantine rules, masking rules, and social distancing mandates. So please be on the lookout. Once we make school-specific and district-wide decisions, we will communicate them out to the entire district. Thank you.
We had started a conversation with the superintendent before that we were going to bring out to the public. I don't remember where we were. I think Zelda was asking a question of the superintendent.
Of a timeline on the communication, yes. So
Right.
this week we have
And the
our
modes and
administrative retreat. By Thursday, we will have mapped out a schedule of when we will all be able to meet to discuss both district-wide and school-specific. And then I will communicate out on Friday in an e-blast to the community our timeline, which would include the communication once we have our date set.
Any other questions for the superintendent?
And just for clarification, that's for school reopening in September, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The road forward.
Yes.
The road forward.
So you're going to follow CDC guidelines no matter what?
No, we use the guidelines in consultation with our local health department and with Dr. Mandelbaum, our school physician, and individually by the school.
And I apologize. It's wonderful to see everybody's faces.
Yeah.
I'm
Welcome back, everyone.
And,
to our first in-person
And thank you for
meeting.
coming to our meeting today. All right, we will next move on to new business from the public or board. Members of the public are allotted one opportunity to bring any new business to the board for up to a maximum of 3 minutes per speaker. All comments or questions must be directed to the board president. The Board of Education welcomes and encourages input from the public. There are 2 times during board meetings that the public is invited to speak. One time is now, when members of the public are invited to bring any new business to the board for up to a maximum of 3 minutes per speaker. Later in the meeting, there will be a second opportunity to address the board regarding the action agenda. Before you make your comment, please state your name, address, and subject matter, being mindful of privacy rights regarding students and board employees, and to avoid any potential liability on the part of the speaker. The board discourages references to specific individuals. While directing your comments or questions to the board president, please understand that the public comment portions of the meeting are not structured as question and answer sessions, but rather are offered as opportunities for you to share your thoughts with the board. The board president may need to refer an issue to the superintendent if the particular issue has not been handled through the appropriate chain of command that the school district before coming to the board for a response. Responses may be provided at the end of the session. However, there are times when comments and questions will require additional information gathering before a response is provided. So is there anyone who has a comment?
One whole person here.
Thank you for coming.
Welcome.
Thanks. First time speaking up in a public like this. So I want to talk about, my name is Gabriela Zayuba. I live on 523 Township Line Road in Bellevue. And I want to speak about mask mandates. I have
I'm sorry,
mask mandates.
Mask mandates.
And what was your name again,
I
please?
have a like accent, sorry.
Can you spell your first name?
My first name is Gabriela,
Last name?
Zayova.
O-B-A. Thank you.
So I have a kindergartner. I mean, it would be a kindergartner. I haven't decided if I'm going to enroll him yet. The reason is the mask mandates. So I was going to ask if you can add it on your next school agenda. The masking and removing the restrictions. It seems like you kind of answered me that you're gonna have an answer for parents later on. So I want to speak about a couple of issues. The reason why I'm so determined about this is because the CDC states that even surgical masks do not provide wearer with a reliable level of protection from inhaling small airborne particles. Even in May 2020, they released a scientific study. In our systematic review, we identified the reported estimates of effectiveness of face masks in reducing laboratory-confirmed influenza virus infections have no significant reduction in influenza transmissions with the use of face masks. Also, FDA regulates face masks, including cloth face coverings and surgical masks, as medical devices. Where is the parent informed and signed consent to mask up kids? Masks increase carbon dioxide and decrease oxygen. I have American Medical Association study, so I'm going to hand it out to you. And I ask you that you read it and hand it out to whoever makes these decisions, because it states that lack of oxygen after 3 minutes of wearing masks, there's increase of CO2 levels. They cause hypercapnia, that means brain damage that slowly developed. I mean, we don't have to be doctors to know that kids' brains and kidneys, other organs need oxygen. According to AstraZeneca, kidneys have a high oxygen demand, and any slight reduction results in chronic kidney diseases and have a chance of increased cancer risk. There's other issues like streptococcus, Banda syndrome, staph infection, pneumonia, dental problems, and the list goes on. So I would like you to review this and also tell us who's going to be responsible if these kids get sick from wearing a mask. Like, what is our recourse? Who's going to be responsible? CDC? Like, I don't know who. So this is not political. This is medical stuff that me as a parent read up. I know I'm not a doctor, but this concerns me a lot. And I don't want to put my kid through all this. He's going to be 6 years old, and this is just not okay. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And if you could please share this. I make copies for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
is there anyone else who will be speaking? And can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You are trying to decide now whether or not you're going to enroll your child.
Yes.
So if we use masks, you'll question whether or not you.
If you make them wear masks, if you don't let the parents choose, then no, I'm not going to enroll him. I don't want him to start kindergarten like this, being scared what the rules are. I mean, it's a lot for a kid to go to big school and then wear a mask, not to even see other kids' faces, how they're reacting. Are they smiling? Are they mad at me? Like, they don't know. They can't see the faces. And also, my kids haven't worn masks for a long time because I found a daycare that lets the parents choose. And there's no COVID cases. So, I mean, it's a big school. It's over 200 kids. No COVID cases. And there are so many adults vaccinated now. Like, they were supposed to wear masks to protect the grandparents. Why are they still wearing it? Grandparents got their shots. Then, come on. Let's just stop it. If we can, I mean, I don't know if you can. I think you can make this decision. And I don't know what your point on this is, but I'm not gonna enroll him if it's mandatory.
So Mary, I know a lot of people have, you've had lots of discussions about this with the Department of Health. And which way are they leaning, do you think, at this point?
Well, up until the new guidelines, it was asking for the students social distancing, but now the CDC says vaccinated, no masks, unvaccinated, recommended to wear masks.
So it's recommended but not mandated. So you can still make the decision.
Yes, we do have that, right.
I know certainly some of the conversations or discussions have been that, one, the younger kids are less at risk, and all of the teachers, for the most part, will be, vaccinated. We have one of the highest vaccination rates
We do.
in our town, and even higher, actually, within the school. So I know a lot has been discussed about the ability to allow people to be free. There also has been a discussion as to whether or not, we can actually do anything to people. We won't know if someone is not vaccinated, right? And can't really control that in terms of whether or not they're wearing masks. But there's really a hope that the majority of the people being vaccinated will protect everyone else in this
I mean,
process.
kids are not affected the same way as adults. They're more affected by flu than this, and we haven't made them wear masks for flu.
So I guess I just want to say that unfortunately, we at times are limited as to when we can come out with an official statement,
Okay,
but.
so I'm just gonna wait for it.
Right, but I would say that we certainly have been listening to the same things that you are discussing, and that's been our concern as well.
And I thank you so much for putting out the survey. It was surprising and so good to see that you are taking comments from people. Thank you so much.
Well, that's definitely Mary, so.
Thank you.
And just to reiterate, Mary, I mean, you can share, like all the hard work and the collaboration between Dr. Mandelbaum and what his role is again in the district and the community, his background, that there is so much, so much that goes into who you meet with, and you're going to the experts. We're educators here, board members, district members, but you're going to the professional medical teams to get this information. So that's important that you're listening to we're listening to the science as well.
Right. I'm hopeful that in the same manner, I guess like during the zenith, right, of the pandemic, in the same manner that we were facilitating those listening sessions with the parents, with the experts who were eager to be participatory. It's my hope that at least once, after all those meetings and your timeline, as you progress through your timeline, I'm hoping that that can be one of the modes of communication, right, for the public. So I think that might be helpful as well for consideration.
So you should definitely expect us to have something
Yeah.
like a public forum to discuss this with all of them as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
But we definitely would love to have your child come. So we will do
Well, we
everything we
moved
can.
to here for this reason, for
Welcome
school.
again.
Yeah, that's why we moved here too.
Hi, it's Barbara Preston from the Montgomery News. I'm also a resident of Rocky Hill, and I always like to say my daughter is a proud graduate of Montgomery High School class of 2013. So I just wanted to say I'm just so pleased to be here in person. I was here for the last school board meeting, and I remember it was just Mary McLaughlin and I think the board, the business administrator.
Oh, that's
and I
right.
just remember how odd that was. I mean, there were two, maybe three people at most. Yeah, so thank you for having a public meeting. And I did also hear that there was a survey of parents. I was wondering if that is public information and what the survey was about. I know it's not a question and answer period though, but I would be very interested in the results of the survey. Okay, thank you.
About the survey. So the survey went out to parents asking about their reasons behind whether they wanted their child virtual or in person and why. And so we received those results, and that's what guided us through the end of the school year, from May 1st through June 18th.
Was that a new survey then?
And I was
Not yet.
thinking about the survey online about masking and things. There was on the Montgomery website. I'll find it.
I'm on bad hearing, so I need to.
Is it the township or the school website? Because
She's reading, yeah.
My glasses.
Can everyone hear each other?
Yes, I'm able to hear.
All right, I'm the only one, so I will try to work on it.
We'll talk a little bit
The
louder.
one about the school return plan?
Yes.
maybe that one. yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
okay.
Say return point, yeah.
Yes,
that
the
one.
one will be for parent input, yep, I absolutely know, thank you. That's to guide us with our school return plan that is mandated by the state and needs to be updated and resubmitted every 6 months.
Okay, so we will move forward now to committee representative reports. We'll start with the NTA report.
It's different from the Well, I'll echo,
Kitchen behind you.
I know, I have no headphones on.
Where's the cappuccino show? Is he tan already?
So this is really exciting. It is really good to see people in person and communicate. I mean, that's, we're human beings and that's the way that we naturally communicate. So it's nice to be back and look forward to future meetings coming out. So I'm Jim Dolan, just for the record. I'm president of the Montgomery Township Education Association. Not really a whole lot to report, you know, as you would expect during the summer. You know, the thing that's on everyone's mind is what we have already been talking about. You know, what's September going to look like? What are the mask mandates? If there is a mandate, if it's optional or no masking. As you can tell, and what I found myself is it's a very polarizing topic. People that I thought would be fine with a mask are not fine, people that, and vice versa. So it's something that we definitely, and I know we have been, you know, putting a lot of time, thought, and effort into and getting medical advice. So that's always good to hear because it's a super important topic. The only other thing I wanted to mention was I was, you know, in the spirit of collaboration, in the last week of June, I was happy to participate with the other leaders of collaboration across the state of New Jersey. And we're talking about what's the next phase, not only just for Montgomery, but also
There's a large influx of money coming from the National Education Association to support this through the NJEA. So how do we support this and grow this across the state of New Jersey, but also further across the country? So that's really exciting, and I'm really proud to be a part of that, and I'm proud that Montgomery is a part of that as well. So this is really exciting times. It's difficult though, because we have to do it right. We can't do that pseudo collaboration where you're saying the word but not doing it. So we have to find a way to scale it, to make it right and do it the correct way and roll it out. So faster is not always better. We have to do it the right way. We in Montgomery have been at it 7+ years. We learn something new every time we tackle something new. So it has to be done right. So that's really exciting. I just wanted the board to know that too. There is money coming in. We're going to grow this collaboration and continue it obviously here in Montgomery, and then certainly get better at it. So nice short report for our first in person. So I'm glad to be here and see the smiles and see everyone in person. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Are there any board member delegate or representative reports on PTSA, MAP, SCSBA, Legislative, New Jersey School Board Association, or Ed Services Commission? No, not right now. So we'll move on to board committee reports. And the first one will be Assessment, Curriculum, and Instruction Committee, API.
Good evening, everyone. As typically stated, and I love to do so because I'm learning so much, not only as a board member, but as educators. So I share that sharing responsibility with our Assistant Superintendent, Damian Papa. We, ACI did not, facilitate a meeting for the month of July. So there is no report at this time.
Moving on to Anti-Racism and Reform Committee, ARRC.
Thank you. We actually have our meeting next week, so I don't have anything to share this evening. It'll be on the 21st, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Thank you.
All right, next is Operations, Facilities, and Finance Committee, OFF. And Sharish Ferrari, the chair, is not here tonight, so I will be filling in for him. We did meet, let's see, what was it, July 9th in the morning. And we went through, I guess, a few things I'll discuss. We made a decision to maintain a high school parking fee at $100 for this next year. And that will actually come up in, what is that, 3.6? Item 3.6, that will be included with that. Another thing that was discussed was a need for repairs and upgrades for the HVAC system, in particular at the high school, which hasn't been repaired since it was built. I think that was a little over 15, 16 years ago. Rich will know that because he actually was here, but
Yeah, it was a long process. It was together. All right.
So there are actually 27 units, and there are many that are in pretty bad shape, and they're also difficult to getting parts. So we will be working on in replacing those. The cost right now they think is going to be about what's this? I'm trying to see the total amount. I think it's a total of really like $300,000 or $400,000. Is that correct, Alicia?
Well, the HVAC's about 180.
180. All right. So it's 180 for the ones that need to be done right now. Another thing that came up was that there is an issue with noisy HVACs. And I think there are about 3 or 4 classrooms that are so noisy that they have to turn off the machines during class, and that creates great problems when it's cold or when it's hot for the students there. So we want to look at repairing those as well. Those are going to be anywhere between $50,000 and $100,000 per unit. So at the most, we're looking at $400,000 more we'll need to find to solve those problems. As you've seen in our correspondence, there has been an issue with summer food services. We are not providing currently food services during the summer, and there are some hungry families that are in need of food, and we have been trying to work. Alicia, myself, Zelda, and Cookie have been working on trying to find ways of providing food. We've also worked with Ellen Robbins, who is in charge of the pantry, the Montgomery Food Pantry, as well as the Elks Club food services. They also are providing food at the Elks Club. And also Melissa Lister, who works with, let's see if I can remember now, Share My Meals, which has just started sharing meals in Montgomery. It's mostly a Mercer County activity. So actually, Alyssa and I were talking to people today, and we're looking at the possibilities of what can be done. There are 2 types of food services that are available in the summer. There's this SSO, which is a full summer program, and that has been the extension of the food program that was done throughout the year due to COVID. There's also another summer food program that is done by some schools, and that's typically done by the schools that have summer programs, sometimes after-school programs that that work through the summer as well. So we are investigating both of them right now. Today we talked with Chartwells, our food service provider, and they will be investigating whether or not we can connect with a neighboring school system and work with them on providing food. One thing we will probably also try to do with that is potentially send out some type of survey to see how many people would be interested in this during the summer. What's also interesting is all of these things would allow for us to provide food for like different summer programs. So I don't know, we'll have to investigate whether or not our SOAR program or anything else would want to add food as well to the program. So we'll be doing that in the next couple of weeks, and I will be sending you all information on that and getting your input. Finally, good news for us, we received $2.8 million in extraordinary aid, which is funds to basically make up for losses as well as help with COVID needs. We received about $800,000 to $900,000 more than we expected, so that will be helpful to us this coming year. Now, unfortunately, I moved all of my notes in this. Let me go back. The next committee after OFF
Policy.
should be what?
Policy.
Okay. It's policy and communication, and that is a PCC by Rich.
So I'm going to copy Zelda's report and say that we have also not met, but we will be scheduling a meeting with the rest of the committee shortly. The only other comment is that on agenda item 1.2, there's a second reading for policy 7101 that, as I mentioned last time, was largely changing language to meet changes in state regulations. But so we'll be voting on that, and aside from that, we don't have any new policies to be looking at, but we will be updating you as things change.
Thank you. And next is the Human Resource Committee, HRC.
So HRC met July 6th, but there's really nothing pertinent to the public that I can share. It was all confidential, but we did meet.
Okay, and finally, it's me and my president's report. We did send out letters to the community and to the staff, thanking them this year for their extraordinary work and commitment to our district. It's been over a year, and it's just been amazing, all the things that everyone has done. So again, thank you to everyone, and again, thank you to all the administrators, because no one knows how much work they're doing, and thank you to the board members who have no idea how many hours they would be working this year.
Yes.
We said 20 hours a week, and
No
it's
math.
been nothing, nothing like that whatsoever.
We'll get you.
That needs to be in the document.
Okay, sorry. All right, so we'll move on to approval of the minutes. Does anyone need them separated, or can I approve them all at once?
I wasn't here for the June meeting. Should I abstain or what should I?
You would then need to abstain for all of them, so we can do them all at once.
Okay.
All right, so can I have a motion to approve the June 22nd, 2021, both executive sessions 1, 2, and business meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Thank you. I'd like to acknowledge the correspondence to the board. And now we're going back to public comments once again. So members of the public are allotted one opportunity to address the board regarding the action agenda for up to a maximum of 3 minutes during this period of the meeting. All comments or questions must be directed to the board president. The board president may need to refer an issue to the superintendent if the particular issue has not been handled through the appropriate chain of command within the school district before coming to the board for response. All responses will be provided at the end of this session. Any public comment?
Me again. You have to say my name again?
No, it's okay.
You don't want to spell it again. So I wanted to ask about the COVID relief dollars that you received. Are they supposed to be spent in any way? And then also if, I don't know, it's just an idea, maybe buying air purifiers that limit virus and bacteria in the classrooms, maybe that would be an option instead of masks. I don't know.
I'm actually going to let Alicia discuss some of this since she's the most knowledgeable.
So our district did receive some federal and state funds to deal with COVID. The first round we received was CARES, and that probably hit late fall of 20. And most of that was spent on purchasing PPE, equipment, things like that, that was immediate needs that the teachers in the classrooms needed when our students came back. The second round of federal funds is commonly known as ESSER II. And we have allocated, pursuant to President Bursch's report this evening, we have allocated a portion of our ESSER II funds to address our HVAC concerns that we do have district-wide. And part of that is the filtration system, particularly on what we call our RTUs, which stands for rooftop units, particularly in Orchard Hill, Village, and high school. We understand that there's a third round of federal funding that will be coming. We're just currently discussing as a district and as a board how we wish to delegate those funds. So the special extraordinary aid that President Burch discussed this evening was separate from COVID. That's funds that a district usually receives every year to reimburse a school district for its extraordinary special ed expenses in the previous year.
One thing we did decide to spend some money on is learning loss and also,
Social emotional learning.
I'm sorry?
Social emotional learning.
And social.
SEL.
Thank you, and social emotional learning. Because we knew that it had been, no one's been in school for over a year, and that those are going to be real issues for students when they return. And what's really nice is that we heard a little while ago that that's one of the things that the administrators are really focusing on, at least this week, to make sure that every student, is taken care of, and all the issues are focused upon.
Is
when
that
they
for
return.
training of the teachers, how to handle kids when they come back? I don't understand what it means.
I'm sorry.
The social emotional learning, is that for training for the teachers so they know how to receive the kids back, or?
Yes.
Okay.
It's training for them as well as, providing any kind of programs that
Okay.
may be needed. If we need to get more counseling or,
Okay.
things like that to help kids. We need to set up, how do you call them, those free rooms that you can go to relax?
Your quiet space.
I'm sorry.
Your quiet
Care,
space.
self-care.
or Self-care.
Self-care rooms and things like
Mindfulness.
that. So that, whatever we need. We don't know exactly, everything that will be needed, but we want to be ready and prepared for anything in terms of that. And flexible. So.
And the survey that you completed that you referred to earlier, that was part of our federal grant. The community input, yeah.
So I should also suggest, write to us, if you have any suggestions as to what you think we should spend some of the money on,
Okay.
definitely write to us.
And that would be written to you per se, or?
To,
Board of Ed.
to the Board of Ed, that's BDOF.
Okay, just general mailbox, okay.
Right. Okay, so now we're moving on to the action agenda. I guess I want to ask if there are any questions or concerns for any of this. If not, can I get a motion to approve action agenda 1.1 through, I believe it's 4.2 or 4.1 to 4.1. Can I get a motion to approve
So moved.
and a second?
Second.
I believe we need a roll call.
Ms. Franco Herman?
Yes.
Ms. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Speck?
Yes.
Ms. Spence Wallace? Yes. Mr. Todd?
Yes.
Ms. Burch?
Yes. So, I guess I want to give, since we have this kind of time, I want to give, if there are any comments that any board member would like to make. Anything you'd like to say, since we don't always have this opportunity. It looks like everybody's fine. Okay, I just want to thank you all for coming. It was a pleasure to see everybody's face. And thank you all for your hard work this summer as well. And we expect to have a meeting on August 3rd So it's not yet been published, and then we will have another meeting a little later. I think it's on the 24th or the 20th.
That's our regular meeting.
Our regular meeting will be on August 24th.
Hey, nice.
And that's really it. Thank you again for coming, and can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
And adjourned. And